That's the sound of a red start. My favourite word in any story is the word that you hear in every story, and it's the word that comes at the very beginning, once. Not twice, not thrice, just once. There was a king and a queen who had a daughter. They lived in a faraway land, and their daughter, who they loved very much, was now, at the beginning of this story, old enough to get married. But the king and the queen, they didn't just want any old husband. They wanted the best husband for their daughter. No, the perfect husband for their daughter. So they decided that to find the perfect husband for their daughter, they must do something quite different. So the king ordered posters to be put up all around the town, and indeed all of the towns in the land, stating that whoever should find and bring the most special and beautiful gift to the princess would win her hand in marriage. You can imagine. So many young men read this poster, and they thought to themselves that each one of them would be able to do that. So princes turned up at the palace with golden necklaces, with silver necklaces, with beautiful horses, with carriages, things which the princess already had. This went on for days, for weeks, for months. Now, it wasn't just there in that town where the poster had been put up, it was all of the towns. And it just so happened that in the furthest away town from where the king and the queen lived, a poor farmer was walking through town, and he saw a group of people gathered around the poster reading it. He couldn't read himself, but he asked them what they were reading. And one of them said, "It says up here that whoever should find the greatest and most beautiful gift and brings it to the princess would win her hand in marriage." The poor farmer, as he was walking home, was thinking about this, and he thought how wonderful it would be if one of his sons, he had 3, would be able to find the greatest gift and would win the hand of marriage, win the hand of the princess in marriage. So he decided he would help them to do that. And when he got home, he called all his sons, and he sat them down at the table and said, "Now listen, it is so that whoever brings the finest, most beautiful gift to the princess would win her hand in marriage. So I am going to divide the money that I've saved up all my life so that each one of you has enough money to go out and buy a gift." And that's exactly what he did. The 3 brothers stepped out of the door of their house, and they decided that it would be quite pointless for them all to go in the same direction. Each would take a different direction. One would go that way, one would go that way, and one would go further straight ahead, because no one wanted to go backwards. And so it was that the first brother, after some days of walking, came to a small village. And it was market day. And in the market, there were people selling many things, eggs and cheese and butter and vegetables. It was quite loud and very busy. But in the corner he noticed, sitting on a very beautiful carpet, an old man who was rocking back and forth. And he wasn't, like all the other ones, shouting out his wares. And he stopped and he looked, and he saw that on the carpet there were very many different things, unusual things. A pair of shoes with curled up points. There was a book. There were all sorts of different things, little boxes. And one of the things caught his eye. It was a mirror. And he looked at the mirror, and he looked at the old man, and he picked up the mirror and he held it up, and it was a very beautiful mirror. He could imagine this would be the mirror that a princess would like to have. So he said to the old man, he said, "Tell me, is this mirror for sale?" And the old man said, "Everything is here for sale." "Really? Tell me, how much does this mirror cost?" "Oh, well," said the old man, pulling on his beard, "it depends how much you have in your pocket." The young man, reached into his pocket and he pulled out a handful of coins. "This is how much I've got." "How strange," said the old man. "That's exactly what the mirror costs." And so, in exchange for the coins, the young man got the mirror, and he put it into the little bag that he had on his shoulder, and he was about to walk away when the old man called him back and said, "But my friend, you must be aware of something." "What's that?" "That's not just any ordinary mirror," said the old man. "That mirror's a very special mirror, for whoever looks into that mirror will get to see exactly what it is that they wish to see. So treat it carefully." As the young man walked away, he thought to himself, "That is the most special gift of all. Surely now I will gain the hand of the princess in marriage." The second brother, who had gone this way, he also, after a few days' walking, came to a village. And when he came to the village, he saw that it was also market day, and there were people everywhere selling cows and pigs and sheep, and there were chickens. And there in the corner he saw, sitting on a carpet, an old man rocking back and forth, who was not like all the other ones shouting out the wares. He was very quiet, and this attracted the young man, and he went over to him and he said, "Old man, what is it that you're doing here?" He said, "I am selling my wares." And he looked down at what he had. There were a pair of shoes with curled up points, and there were boxes and books and trinkets and cups. Many of the things were broken, and certainly all of the things were old. But interestingly enough, he saw that the most beautiful thing of all was the carpet that the old man was sitting on. "Excuse me, but that carpet that you're sitting on, it looks very beautiful." "Oh, it is. It's a very beautiful carpet." "Tell me, is it for sale?" "Everything here is for sale." "How much does it cost?" "Well, that depends," said the old man, "on how much you have in your pocket." "Well, that's how much I have in my pocket." "That's very strange," said the old man. "That's exactly how much it costs." Together they took all the things off the carpet. The old man rolled the carpet up, gave it to the young man, who put it under his arm, and he was about to walk away when the old man called him back and said, "There is something you must be aware of." "What's that?" "Well," he said, "that isn't just any old carpet. It's a very interesting carpet. You see, whoever sits on that carpet and wishes to go somewhere will be taken there in a flash." You can imagine, as the young man walked along with the carpet under his arm, how he felt. He was sure that he was going to win the princess's hand in marriage. Oh, yes. The third brother, who had gone forward, he came, after a few days' walking, to a village. And it was market day. And he came down onto the market, and there was so much sound, it was so loud. There were people selling cows, and there were people selling chickens and sheep and butter and eggs and vegetables. It was so loud. But in the corner he saw an old man sitting on the ground, and in front of him were a few things, shoes and boxes and trinkets. The young man was attracted to him because he was very quiet. So he went over to him and he said, "These things that you have are very beautiful. Are they for sale?" "Everything here is for sale." Among all the things that he saw was the strangest of all. There were the books, and there were the shoes, and there was a box, and a bit of jewellery, but right in the middle of all that lot was a lemon. A lemon. But it wasn't just any old lemon, it was a beautiful lemon, and he picked it up and he had a look at it. It had the most beautiful shape, and its colours were, well, perfect. And he looked at this lemon and he thought, I have never seen a lemon quite so beautiful. Old man, this lemon is for sale?" "It is." "Well, tell me, how much does it cost?" "Well, that depends on how much money you have." And he pulled out of his pocket the money that he had. "Well, there you go," said the old man. "That's what the lemon costs." "Fine," said the young man. "I'll buy it." And he put the lemon into his bag, and he was about to walk away when the old man called him and said, "There is something you must be aware of. You see, that just isn't any old ordinary lemon. If you were to cut that lemon, a drop of that juice will save the life of anybody who is dying." Well, now that's a very special gift. So it was that a few days later, all three of the brothers met again at the crossroads where they had last seen each other. And each one of them asked the other, "Did you find anything?" "Oh, yes, I found something." "What did you find, brother?" "I found a mirror." "Oh, very nice." But he didn't say anything about the properties of the mirror. "And you?" "I found a carpet, a very beautiful carpet." But neither did he say anything about the properties of the carpet. "And you, brother?" "I found a lemon." A lemon. A lemon. A lemon for a princess. So it was that the three of them walked along, each one of them with the same thought in their heads that, well, surely my mirror is the most beautiful gift of them all. The princess will certainly want to marry me. With a carpet that can take you anywhere, surely I will get to marry the princess. With a lemon that saves lives. And they walked along. They came then, after a few days, to a town. And as they walked into the town, they saw that poster. But one of the brothers noticed that the poster was all faded. The sun had been burning on it for so long that the letters had faded, and it had rained so many times that it was peeling away from the wall, and the paper was dry, and it was all flaky. "That's very bad," said one of the brothers. "What do you mean?" "Well, it means that poster has been stuck on that wall for a very long time. Look how faded it is. Look how much the rain has taken away its strength. We don't know how long it's been up there. Perhaps it's been up there for years. That means that perhaps the princess is already married. Perhaps we are wasting our time walking there. Perhaps she has already found her perfect gift and therefore her perfect husband. We would be wasting our time if we were to go." "But perhaps not," said one of them. "How can we know?" And it was at this point that the brother who had found the mirror opened his mouth about its properties. "Brothers, I think I can help. You see, the gift that I have got is this mirror, but it's not just any old mirror. If you were to look into the mirror, it will tell you what you want to see." "We'll do it. Look, quickly, find out." So he looked into the mirror. "Tell us, show us where the princess lives." And the mirror showed them the princess's bedroom. And there they saw her bed. But she was in the bed, and she was very pale. And walking up and down and back and forth were 3 or 4 doctors, and at one end the king himself, who was sitting there as pale as his daughter, and he was pulling on his beard, and he was almost in tears when they saw in the mirror one of those doctors come over to the king and speak and say to him, "Your daughter is not going to live through this night. The illness is too strong." The 3 brothers looked at this scene. "This is a terrible thing. What can we do? The poor woman is going to die." At this point, the brother who had the lemon pulled it out of his pocket and spoke and said, "But this lemon here will save her life, because one drop of this will save the life of someone who's dying." "Well, wonderful," said the 2 brothers. "But how are we going to get there? It is still another 2-3 weeks' walk before we come to the palace where the princess lives." And so it was that the other brother unrolled his carpet and said, "If we were to sit on this carpet and ask it, it will take us immediately. And so all three brothers sat on the carpet, and they asked the carpet to take them to the palace, and yes, in a flash, just as the old man had said, they found themselves in front of the palace. They banged on the door, and they were let in. They went straight up to the room of the princess, saying that, "We are here to save the life of the princess." And when the king came out, he asked them how on earth they could do such a thing, and the young brother turned up and said, "I've got a lemon." The king was about to get very angry when one of the other brothers said, "And anyone who drinks just one drop of this lemon juice will not die." They let him in. He cut open the lemon, and just one drop fell out, because that's all it had in it. Onto a spoon it landed, and the spoon was put into the princess's mouth by one of the doctors. And it seemed as if it had happened immediately. She became well again. She sat up. She was still quite weak, but she was not dying. And she looked around her, and she saw the doctors, who were amazed. And she saw the king, who was overjoyed. And she saw the three brothers. "What are you doing here in my room?" And the king told her. "Well," said the brothers, "we have come here because we were told that whoever brings the greatest gift would win the hand in marriage of your daughter," they said to the king. "And we've each brought a gift. So show me your gifts." "This is a mirror." "Oh, I have many mirrors," said the princess. "I have so many mirrors." No, but in this mirror you may look and ask what you wish to see, and you will see it." "Well, that's very good." "And I have brought a carpet." "Carpets? Do we need more carpets here in the palace?" said the king. No, but this carpet is very special. Whoever sits on this carpet and asks to go somewhere will immediately be taken there." "And I brought the lemon, and you know all about that." So it was that the princess had to decide which one of those brothers had the most beautiful and most important gift. It wasn't easy, for one without the other, the mirror without the carpet, or the carpet without the lemon, wouldn't have been any use at all. I wonder which one of those brothers she chose, or if she chose any of the brothers at all.